Good morning, everyone. I think I would like to share a little bit about what I've been seeing about Jesus. I'm going to read in Matthew 14, starting in verse 13. When Jesus heard what had happened, he withdrew by boat privately to a solitary place. Hearing of this, the crowds followed him on foot from the towns. When Jesus landed and saw a large crowd, he had compassion on them and healed their sick. As evening approached, the disciples came to him and said, "This is a remote place and it's already getting late. Send the crowds away so they can go to the villages and buy themselves some food." Jesus replied, "They do not need to go away. You give them something to eat." "We have only 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish," they answered. "Bring them here to me," he said. And he directed the people to sit down on the grass. Taking the 5 loaves and 2 fish and looking up to heaven, he gave thanks and broke the loaves. Then he gave them to the disciples, and the disciples gave them to the people. They all ate and were satisfied, and the disciples picked up 12 basketfuls of broken pieces that were left over. The number of those who ate was about 5,000 men, besides women and children. Immediately, Jesus made the disciples get into the boat and go on ahead of him to the other side while he dismissed the crowd. After he had dismissed them, he went up on a mountainside by himself to pray. When evening came, he was there alone, but the boat was already considerable distance from land. I'll stop there. So this miracle that Jesus does is it's so amazing. But I look at basically right before this, they hear that John was just beheaded. So I think this is a time where they were mourning and dealing with some tough stuff. But instead of just shooing the people away, Jesus looked at them and had compassion on them. He saw that other people were hurting too, and he didn't just get to himself and be like, well, I'm in need. My friend, my cousin, John was just beheaded, and I'm mourning. I can't deal with this. Instead, he gives, and he thanks God and provides food for them and heals them. Another thing that really sticks out to me is that after he gets his disciples to help feed all these people, then he goes away to be alone. He says, immediately Jesus made the disciples get into the boat and go ahead of them to the other side while he dismissed the crowd. And that just kind of makes me think of, what do I do after a big event? I think recently hosting a big event, there's stress and planning. There's, the actual event itself is, it goes by and you're stressed and you're in things. And at the end of it, what do you do? Do you do like Jesus did and go back to him, going away to a solitary place to pray and go, whew, it's over, and God, thank you so much for helping me accomplish this or pass this test that I was stressed about? Or do we just go on with our lives and, well, that was another check off the list? And I think I want to do better at following Jesus's example of withdrawing and getting closer to God before and after things go on in our life. So I hope this is encouraging, and y'all can all just think about connecting with God deeper, not just before stressful things happen, but even afterwards, to just reconnect with God. So have a great day, and thanks for listening.